Alright, so today we're going to look at Butterflight. Okay, so if you're not aware what Butterflight is, it's a fork off of Betaflight. It had to do with the fast Kalman filter, and when that did not get implemented in its original equation, some people were upset over that. The Betaflight devs produced a decent amount of documentation that shows that, hey, it's the BQRCF2 is repurposing code that's already there. It's not the same exact equation, but they produce the same phase delay and attenuation, and essentially, you can either say 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, or you could say 2 + 1 = 3. Different equations, but the end result's the same, so it doesn't matter. The Butterflight folks say they disagree with that. So they forked off, made their own. I do kind of like what they did is they threw out some features that I know I don't use. I would call them fluff features, but if you use them, you might not call them fluff. And did that so they could fit in all the mathematics for the fast Kalman filter, and also the BQRCF2 are both in there. So it's very easy to flash to Butterflight and then switch between the two to see what you like best. So I did that. Anyways, you can see on their recommendations right here, this is their filter setup. So they are turning on air mode, anti-gravity, dynamic filter, which was in my recommendation, and then also, fast Kalman filter is turned on by default, and then they're setting their Q and R to 488. I'm a little confused by that, and I have seen some posts on the Butterflight site where they're saying just set it to that. Where I'm a little confused is that a Q and R of 400, that's this is for R = 10, but let's just change this to be 488. So I'll change that to 88. So you can see this is Q 400, 88's R. Ignore this. This would say R = 88. You can see that's going to give you different. So wherever this falls, so if I come up from here to my 32 kilohertz sample rate, you can see that I'm going to get different cutoff frequencies. So, to me, it has to vary by whatever your PID loop is at. I'm running a 4K PID loop on this, so yeah, I don't know about that. But they're saying, hey, don't mess with it, and do keep in mind that if your PID loop's at 32K, well, then your cutoff for the fast Kalman filters at 711 hertz. If it's at 16, it goes down, and so on and so forth. So at 4K, it's around 90 hertz, which is about the same as you would get for your classic PT1 low-pass filter. The same hertz range there. So, yeah. But anyways, what I did is I kind of ignored these, and because I know more about filtering. Maybe not so much, but anyways, nevertheless, that's what I did. I ignored it and went in and set up my filters for what I wanted to test or recommended for Betaflight. And if so, what that procedure is here, if I go into my PID tuning tab and then I go over to my filters, what I ended up doing is turning off the classic PT1 filter, setting my D term low pass to PT1, turning off all my notches. I do have on the dynamic notch, so you can see that's down here. And then going into the CLI, if you type in get gyro, you can see in here for this run I had the BQRCF2 set. What's nice is then you can just change this variable to run the fast Kalman for comparison purposes. I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here and assume that when I have my gyro filter Q and R set, and for me to get around 90 hertz, and I'll show you here in a second, it's 47 for Q and R is 10. So let's just go back over here and show you what I was doing here. If I put this to 10, and I change this to 47, let's just do this one since it's close, you can see at 4K that's a cutoff of 90.5 hertz. So it's just a little bit over 90. And then I'm also assuming that if you're switched to the BQRCF2 filter for a test run, that when you set your gyro stage to low pass at 90, because that's how 3.3 works, that's the cutoff. So it's using this for the fast Coleman, it's using this for the low pass. So if anybody out there says that I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I'll correct that. But based on the results, I didn't do a lot of flying because there's like 2 feet of snow out there yet. We just had a big snowstorm here in the Northeast, and don't have extra quad parts like some of these other guys that can just fly stuff into the ground. So but just doing some hovers and punch outs, here's what I get from the black box. And guys are raving over it, but that doesn't, I want to see the data. So here's just 2 quick little flights, not very long at all, in black box. This is one with Butterflight with the BQRCF2 turned on, and you can see basically what you're trying to look for is the thickness of these lines in the black box log. So here's your RC command, so you can see I'm doing a punch out, just no other stick controls. I have the debug mode on. There's a little bit of goofiness there with that. If you're a developer, if you could take care of that, the debug modes are reversed for it and air mode. So this should be the vibration, but the magnitude, and it's not scaled right. So just take it for a grain of salt, but it should be, essentially this is the vibration coming in to the quad or into the gyro. This is it after it's fully filtered. This is the PID error, which is what drives everything for the PID. And the P, I, D terms, and then the motors you can see are max in there. So this is the BQRCF2, and then this is the fast Coleman. BQRCF2, fast Coleman. So I'm just going to flip back and forth between these two a little bit. To me, I would have to say the same. I know this is probably going to be a very controversial topic, but if anything, if I had to go any which way, I would say the BQRCF2 has a little bit less vibration that's getting through. But hey, maybe there's more vibration coming in. It's you have to look at those top lines where it says debug mode and see. To me, I'd have to say that the BQRCF2 looks like it has a little bit more vibration coming in and a little bit less coming out. At the end of the day, this is a short flight. This is not a conclusive find. I have to fly it, and do flips, rolls, see how the bounce back is, prop wash, all that kind of stuff. But just wanted to throw this up there, and also, the main points are just, switching between the two, and how with Butterflight you can check that out. I guess just to leave this off, I will put a dump down below, a link for the dump, so you can see, so anybody can see all the little settings I had in here. I'm trying to think of anything, obviously all the PIDs, I really didn't change anything between the 2 flights. I just changed which filter it was using, and but I'll put that dump down below so you can have that. And if there's any questions, comments, or concerns about what I did here or anything I'm doing wrong, please do let me know. I really appreciate it, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. Hope this helps.